White man in boxing led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV. Woo!
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
All right, man. Oscar Valdez scored a 10th round upset knockout of Miguel Berchelt. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. Make sure if you want to support the channel, best way to donate, share the video. But Cash App, CJ Good 313. That is in the description. And yeah, I came in a little bit late. I was watching the Otto Wallin victory over Dominic Brazil. So I was a little bit late coming in, but basically it was Oscar Valdez dominated, doing what he do best, boxing wise, hitting and not getting hit, and that's the name of the game. It's the hit, not get hit. And Valdez was on Max on Boxing yesterday, and basically he said that he wanted to basically put on for the fans, the Mexican fans. You know how Mexican fans feel about, they hardcore boxing fans feel about guys, hitting and don't get hit. They want to see wars, okay? They want to see wars. This time they didn't get no war. It was a one-sided ass whooping, and Valdez didn't stick and move in a way where it was boring. At some point, he was just, letting Berchelt miss. And what I noticed about Berchelt is that his back leg, at some point, it didn't recover from the damage or whatever injury he had going on. But his back leg wasn't there. But, in a society where we are, in boxing society, where people are enamored with the O, people treated Berchelt, who had a loss on the resume, a knockout loss on his resume. They treated him, like he had the O, and Berchelt, was the one that lost by knockout. I mean, Oscar Valdez is the one that lost by knockout, but Oscar Valdez was the guy that was just, he's one of them dudes that, like Gilberto Ramirez, Bob Arum just matched them. He matched them where, at some point they kept fighting the same caliber guys, those B- C+ fighters, where at some point they started to get bored and they set in a frying pan, or they over marinated, or they overcooked so long where they never was challenged. And that was the issue. Those guys, him and Ramirez, was never challenged in the ring, and they just got bored and they just started to diminish. At some point, when you matchmaking and you building a fighter up, you got to challenge them. If it's going to take a risk against a fighter that's on another promotional company, or it's fighting a guy that's on that's on your stable, at some point Valdez should have fought the Gary Russells. He should have fought the Leo Santa Cruz. He should have fought the Regan Diaz. And Valdez never showed that he can elevate his level, because Bob Arum, not tied to bus, Carl Moretti's the matchmaker. It never allowed him to elevate his game, and that's why Valdez basically was slept on. And then he fought like Scott Quigg, and Scott Quigg came in overweight. He had a war with Genesis. He had a whole bunch of fights where he didn't look good, and then a lot of people soured on him, dropping his belt, not wanting to fight Shakur, going to fight Berchelt. And obviously he was right. What he's seen on tape is that Berchelt was a style that was tailor-made for him. And am I knocking him for that? No, I love Oscar Valdez as a fighter. You go back and watch some videos where, I even covered the fight where him and Ramirez fought on pay-per-view at the StubHub Center that people forgot about. It was the same night as another fight, but in this fight, everything came together. One thing you notice about Valdez, he never went looking for the knockout. And what I mean, he wasn't winding up or loading up on his shots. And I'm watching the AB fight right here. He never was winding up on the shots. Everything Valdez threw was just natural. He threw it like he threw it in the gym. He wasn't throwing it to look for a knockout. He was throwing it just like a regular punch. You hitting the bat, boom, 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 hook, hook. He never sat down and tried to generate a knockout. Some of the fights, some of the punches he did trying to, throw hard, but he wasn't out of position. But the most of his punches that he threw was just he took the opening. And had he wound up and tried to really go for the knockout, probably Berchelt would have been able to pick or slip those shots. And that's what you notice. Everything was on point. He moved, and people was like, well, is he getting gas doing all this movement? And, he was comfortable. And people got to understand, a lot of times he was moving. At some points, he wasn't throwing no punches. So he was just being aware. His vision was open. And, he just picked this dude apart. And, one thing you would like to see was him throw that uppercut a little bit earlier. He dropped him on, the first knockdown? The second knockdown? Or, yeah, second knockdown. He had an uppercut involved in it. He threw an uppercut, came back with a hook, another hook, threw an uppercut to finish him off. And then Oscar Valdez was on this Terrence Crawford and Marvin Hagler. He started to switch. And he wasn't switching where it was out of desperation. When he switched, his southpaw lead hook and his Orthodox lead hook, they both look good. And his switching was natural. It was crisp. It was switching at the right time. It was confusing Berchelt, and he dominated the fight. I think he lost like one round that I saw, but Valdez he just had the right game plan. When I saw it on Max on Boxing, I thought that he was gonna get drugged into a war. I really did think he was gonna get drugged into a war. And he stayed disciplined. He stuck in moving. One thing I just like to see him do a little bit better was push Berchelt back faster and get Berchelt on the back foot and get him moving too much and digging to the body. He threw some good body shots. I like to see him double the hook to the body, to the head, but you can't argue with that performance. It was crisp. He was athletic. He was on point. He had balance. He was sharp as a razor knife. What happened here? I don't know what happened. Hold on. Oh, shit, my plug came out. But yeah, he was crisp, man, and you couldn't argue. And you look at Miguel Berchelt, you ask what went wrong. And one thing I noticed about Berchelt is I almost picked Valdez on the video if you've seen a prediction video. One thing about Berchelt is, and I kind of should have watched the film a little bit more, was that his competition level wasn't exciting me. He really wasn't fighting nobody. That's my biggest gripe about him. He didn't fight nobody. And the guys that he fought, they got Santiago winning. They got Broner down. He lost 3, 4, 5, 9, Steve Farhood. 6, 5, 4, and 3. And he lost 1. So, my thing is, with Berchelt, he just, the credibility of his resume wasn't there. He fought Vargas, an Asian, I think Japanese guy, Mira. He never really fought nobody. He never fought nobody. And that was my biggest issue with him, is that he didn't fight nobody. And then you look at him, all his weight was on his front foot. He had no balance. Fundamentally, he was garbage. I don't know if his legs was injured, but his legs was too straight up. Didn't have no bend. It was too straight. Then his back legs, he had some problems. And, he came in reckless with his face open. And Valdez did what he had to do. I think with somebody a little bit more seasoned would have knocked Valdez out quicker. I think so. But, Valdez didn't press. He let the knockout come to him. And should he have pressed? Yeah, he should have pressed a little early, but he got the knockout in the 10th round. At one point, I thought he was going to go the distance when he got, towards the 10th. But then this dude knocked him out with 1 second left, 2:59 in the 10th. That's crazy. And at some point, I asked if his corner had stopped the fight. Me and Lion Killer Podcast, check his channel out, man. We going live over there. His corner should have threw the towel in, but I know Mexicans are proud. They ain't going to cheat. He'd rather went out the way he went out. He'd rather went out that way than another way. And other than that, I just think fundamentally, he just was able to overwhelm people with his volume, with his pressure, with his stamina. He was tired of this fight. Maybe a couple of those body shots that Valdez put in got him tired, but he was tired. He was breathing through his mouth, and Valdez was just comfortable. Valdez knew that he can beat this guy. He did, and that's why he took the fight. He knew that he was going to dominate him. And, battle rifle fear. Well, Shakur can't beat Berchelt. Shakur did the same thing. Shakur might not have got the stoppage, but Oscar Valdez was lethal tonight. His punching, his movement, his athleticism, his confidence, his corner, everything was on point tonight. Eddie Reynoso had a great game plan, and they had to look good leading up to this fight. I'm sure how many fights he had with Eddie Reynoso, Canelo trainer, but they didn't look good. They didn't look good to this fight, and they all put it all together. Maybe it was the seriousness and the importance of this fight, and they put it all together, man. And Oscar Valdez is a champion. I think he's the guy to beat at 130 pounds. We'll talk about that tomorrow. He the guy to beat at 130 right now. So now will he fight Shakur Stevenson? That's yet to be seen. But beautiful fight tonight. And Berchelt, the way that knockout looked, he may not be back no time soon. He might not be back this year, but I just think he would have had a chance versus Loma because of his volume. And Loma don't got the power. I don't think he had the power that Valdez had tonight, but you don't need that power that he had. I thought his volume, his stamina would rival Lomachenko, but Valdez did something different. And, Valdez was a serious fighter today, man. And congratulations to him, the new WBC super featherweight champion, or they call it, I forget, super featherweight, and they call it something else. Junior lightweight. But, hey, great fight by him tonight. Let me know what you guys think. They got AB down right now. Showtime versus Santiago. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsor, video request, or all our social media links description. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Also got a Facebook group. All links there. If you want to join the Facebook group, just request to get in and I'll push you through. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.